Morning, everybody. Grab a cup of coffee and a donut or three, and let's do some switching. Before we get into the switching, let me show this track plan real quick. I don't know if I've ever actually shown this. This was the original track plan when the layout was in the other room of Chillicothe. This is what I built it to. So 16 inches wide, 72 inches long. I didn't have anything on either end. That's all I had. So I had to pretend that the cars were dropped off by a freight train right here, and then I had to switch them, and then I'd just leave them here. So obviously it's expanded since then. Two things that are different on this plan. This crossover is no longer there. I took it out, and I just made this like a passing siding down here that ties back in here next to ITT Grinnell. And also I sort of abandoned the idea of the hidden N&W interchange inside the building. So besides that, this is Chillicothe as it is right now, really. Everything is pretty much in place the way I designed it. So let's get into switching. It's 29, the wind chill is 21. I'm on the back porch narrating this, hoping to hear a train. As you can hear, coming toward us, we have a sound-equipped locomotive. It's the Western Maryland GP40 that I got back from Benjamin today. I will go in to find the CV for the sound and turn the volume down a little bit before part 2, hopefully. It's a little loud, sorry. Really running well. So there's two things we need to do. We're going to switch out spot 1 at wherever, and then we need to swap cars at Union Spring. Now the car I'm picking up at wherever in spot 1 is the C&O plug door boxcar that I talked about having trouble with the couplers, and I squirted graphite in there and worked it didn't help, so finally pried the coupler off. They're not really glued on, they're like pressed into a hole. I was able to get it apart, and basically it was just set too tight. It was pinching the coupler, so all the graphite in the world wasn't going to help it. But now it's freed up a little bit and it's working fine. One other improvement you're going to see in parts 2 and 3, maybe 4, depends how long this is I'm not going to name him because I don't know if he wants me to share his name, but Pete from the Kansas City area reached out to me about he knows a lot about JMRI, and he's just sort of learned through doing, but he really we chatted back and forth, had a phone call, and I made some changes in JMRI, and so now I'm switching ITT Grinnell like I should be. Not every time. It doesn't need to be switched every time. I don't want every industry switched every time. But it's definitely an improvement from what I've seen so far. So you'll see that later on in the video. So I want to thank you, Pete, and if you want me to tell your last name, I will, but I don't want people contacting you out of the blue now that you're the JMRI guy. We're just going to spot the rail box back at spot 1. Having a real cold snap here in Kentucky. I think we've already had 3 or 4 measurable snows this year, which is unusual. And like I said, last night when I got up this morning, it was 8 degrees, and took the dogs for a walk. The wind chill was down to 4. So, and it's going to be pretty cold all week. Now we're going to head back and get the car for Union Spring. It was unusual to have a Western Maryland circus-style locomotive in Chillicothe. Not unheard of. I have a picture taken by a friend of mine that, you know, there was one that hung around Chillicothe for a while to switch the local industries. Basically, I think they rotate the engines every 90 days. They have to go in for servicing, so they'll keep them there for 90 days, and then they'll drop off another one to use and put that one in a train heading back to the locomotive servicing shops. The reason why I showed the track plan at the beginning of this was I had a question. I can't remember if I ever showed the track plan. So that was the way the layout was originally built in the front room before I moved it and built the extensions. We're shoving in to get the empty. Sometimes they couple okay, other times they don't couple. This time they didn't, so I just stopped it and got it coupled, started the video again. It's on a little bit of a curve. if any of you are Jawtooth fans, you know he's been posting several videos about the shoe fly up around Walton, and I'm about 40 miles south of that, maybe 50. And that video he posted a couple days ago of the talking about the locomotive switching on the steep grades, that's a neat little industrial park. Would be a good switching layout, with the exception I think all it gets are boxcars. So you'd have to really like boxcars, and there's not much car variety. You can look on Google Maps or Google Earth for, I think it's Richwood, Kentucky. You could probably adapt that to a nice little track plan. So I'll go back and get the empty gondola, and then we'll pull back up, back through the crossover, and pull the rest of the train forward. My next video I intend to post Wednesday. It'll be an Oak Hill update, talking about the construction of my post office and a few other things. Growing up in southern Ohio, as I did, really had no contact or knowledge about the Western Maryland other than the occasional engine coming through. But I've always just really thought it was a neat railroad. I've always had a soft spot for short lines and like small regional railroads, like the DT&I was one, and Kansas City Southern used to be a lot smaller than it is, today. Just little railroads like that I always thought were pretty neat. And they all got swallowed up. I don't think I ever showed you this shot before. Chassis caboose I just bought from a guy who was selling a bunch of stuff on N-Scale on Facebook, and $10. I've taken the roof walk off and weathered it a lot. I'm probably going to rebuild the handrails on the ends. So I've got 9 cars in the train. 6 of them we're going to be leaving in Chillicothe. So I'm going to pull up till after the caboose clears Douglas Avenue, and then I'll push the 6 cars into the passing siding. And because there's so many, I'm going to have to split the train, leave 2 of them in front of the yard office and 4 of them west of Douglas Avenue. So you can just see the orange car going out of sight there. I just have to pull it up past the turnout, and then I can push everything back. Looks like a good place to split the train right here. We've got the cars tied down with the handbrakes because we're going to be sitting there for a few hours while we go to Oak Hill. So we're coming back to tie onto our 3-car train. That'll be in part 2. We'll be switching Oak Hill in part 2. Alright, we're heading out of town, so everybody stay safe.